As we are nearing autumn and approaching Christmas time, the weather is about to get cooler. And with this cooler weather comes the common cold and the sniffly nose. We all know how much of an effect this weather can have on our upper respiratory system, also known as the Ent System. That is why on this episode of the Healthy Human Podcast, we will talk about the Ent System and all its features as well as diseases that can affect it. When talking about the Ent System, we must first dissect the individual parts. As per the acronym, the system contains of your ears, nose, and throat, all of which have functions associated with one another. That is why you'll often see physicians who specialize in the Ent System. Instead of going into the individual organs as a part of this system, I will instead describe their general functions. Our ears are responsible for converting waves into sound, which is why you can hear me talk right now. Our nose is responsible for smells, converting odor molecules into information. Finally, we have our throat, which is responsible for the passage of food, water, and gases like the air we breathe every day. Now that we understand what our system is capable of, we can further dive into what problems can arise from these individual parts. Obviously, the most generic and prevalent would be the common cold, which is a viral infection of the nose and throat. Some of the more common symptoms include sneezes and congestion. This condition usually solves itself within a week or two, with faster times coming through cold medication. Another pretty common thing that can occur is vertigo. Vertigo is a problem that can result from problems within your inner ear that make you feel as if you are off balance. Symptoms include lightheadedness, feelings of disorientation, as well as dizziness. Speaking of vertigo, which infects the ear, it is important that we discuss deafness. Deafness can be the product of many things, but to put it simply, one would not be able to hear anything. Deafness is something that can also develop over a lifetime, which is why a good amount of elderly people are deaf in some way. Deafness or hearing loss can be prevented, though, through the use of hearing aids or other hearing devices that allow those afflicted to hear audios that they may not be able to hear normally. In addition to this condition, another one that can arise is sinusitis. Sinusitis is the result of inflamed sinuses, which are cavities in the face that contain fluid. If this fluid does not get drained properly, then sinusitis can occur. We can diagnose sinusitis through a CT scan and treat sinusitis by using nasal sprays that you may find in a lot of pharmacies. Lastly, it would not be a Healthy Human Podcast episode without discussing cancer. All the systems have organs that are around areas that are susceptible to cancer and can result in consequences if not taken care of properly. Chemotherapy is a very applicable drug for these issues, but often surgery can take care of the job well if caught in early stages. In order to stay healthy and maintain our Ent system, we must make sure that we follow a couple of simple rules or principles. The single most important thing that you can do to prevent illness is washing your hands frequently. Reduce your risk of getting sick as much as you can and maintain good hygiene. Toddlers who attend daycare or preschool are at higher risk of having an ENT disease, such as ear infections and throat infections, because it's challenging to teach proper hygiene to young children. They might also spread such dangerous illnesses to the rest of the family at home. Some additional things that you can do are avoiding exposure to smoke, especially from cigarettes, giving proper attention to allergies, ensuring that one has the right medical interventions to prevent the problems, and avoiding exposure to contagious respiratory infections such as COVID nowadays. Well, once again, this has been Rohan live on the Healthy Human Podcast. I hope you learned a thing or two about the Ent system, given that it is very important this time of year. Be sure to tune into the next episode where I'll continue to explore the wonderful world of health. Until next time, remember, happiness is the product of good health.